Hi cuties! I hope you guys are doing so well. So today I want to do some extra long poly gel nails, but like make them super charmed and blinged up and super covered in kawaii adorable charms so that you can't even see the nails below. Like poly gel is not my favorite and I literally have not done it in so long, but I have like the itch to sculpt nails out of poly gel, so that's what we're gonna do. And I also just really want a reason to use some of these like adorable charms that I got from Temu like in my last haul. So let's just get into this and I'll show you a little bit of what we're working with today. Let's go. I've got my hard gel layer filled in already. So we've got that protective base on there because my nails have been through it a little bit, changing my set so often. And after I used that Jello peel off base coat, they just really needed a break. What I'm doing now is I'm just going to be filing down to this hard gel for a while and just filling it in if I need to and doing all my nail art on top of that. So the base hard gel layer does not get removed. That way I'm not roughing up and filing my natural nail so often. We have to decide what poly gel that I'm going to use today. So this soft pink poly gel from Rosalind, obviously I've used it a bit. It's just like a very nude pink, almost like a milky pink. So that's an option. I definitely want to keep like the base poly gel pretty simple because I know that I'm going to end up covering it in charms. Ooh, but this is a really pretty glittery one. Yeah, I might have to put some glitters in there. We'll see. I do know though, like if I go overboard with the glitter and stuff for the base of the nail, like just building the nail, I'm going to be sad when I end up covering it and I'm not going to want to cover it up with charms as much. And I want myself to have complete freedom to cover the entire surface of the nail in charms and rhinestones because that's the goal today. And I actually really like this dusty rose color and I don't think I've ever used it. So I think we're gonna just like stick to this color for building our nails. And then just in case you didn't see my Temu haul that I posted last Friday, I will give you a sneak peek at some of the charms in here. Got so many adorable like Kawaii Sanrio charms. Just an absolute abundance of them. So I've got a lot of cute charms that I just want an excuse to use. But before we can get into the charms, first things first, let's build some extra long poly gel nails. So I'm going to use these extra like 3X's, very extra long coffin tips that I also got in my last Temu haul. This video is basically just an excuse for me to use a lot of the supplies I got in that last haul. So I'm just going to size these out. And the way I size them out is I just make sure that the tip fits from sidewall to sidewall, like so. So I will just do that for all of them. So I've got them all sized out. So I do need to prep them a little bit by roughing up or etching the area where they're going to be sitting on my natural nail so that they stick on really strong. And usually I would do that with my acid-free primer, which you can do. But since I also need to just quickly buff this layer of hard gel real quick because I did put a top coat on it, since this specific hard gel that I use is so sticky, so I just wanted to put a top coat on it so I didn't have to deal with it. So I'm going to rough up the top coat that is on my hard gel layer, and then I'm also just going to use my mini mandrel with like my buffing sanding band to also rough up the tips, just because I've been enjoying that little mini mandrel very much. If there's one e-file bit I recommend that you get, it's the mini mandrel, because usually you can do most of the things that you need to do with the e-file bits that usually come with your e-file, but normally the e-files don't come with the mini mandrel, so I would definitely pick up one of those if you are buying an e-file, because I've been finding it super handy. I cleaned my dust collector after I did that custom acrylic video with chalk, but my dust collector is like still stained like rainbow tie-dye-ish, and I actually love it. So if you want to dye your dust collector filter, just like grind up some chalk and use it while you're doing it. And wear a mask. Okay, these nails are super dusty, so I'm just gonna give them a spray with just 91% isopropyl alcohol, and then use my little dust brushy, it's a little scrubby one, and just scrub all of the dust off. And I'm gonna let this brush just dry off from the isopropyl alcohol, and then I'm also gonna use it to brush off any dust from the tips, because I did use my e-file to rough these up, so there's definitely dust in there. And any dust could interfere with how well our tips stay on. So yeah, if you want to make sure that your nails last a long time, make sure that no dust or dirt or any sort of moisture is left anywhere near your nail product or your nail. All right, now I'm gonna put these tips on using my Roslyn nail glue gel. But first, I'm actually going to use a little bit of dehydrator, and I'm gonna dehydrate my nail bed to get rid of any of that moisture I was telling you about. Because although I did spray them with isopropyl alcohol, I don't know what kind of moisture might be in the bristles of that brush that I used. So I just wanna be extra careful. And I've got my gooseneck lamp, which is motion activated. How fancy. I'm so dumb. I keep blowing on things to get rid of dust, and I keep blowing my tips all over my desk. Anyway, so if you're working on your natural nails and you don't have a layer of hard gel on your nails like mine, you're gonna wanna put on base coat on your natural nail at this point. But since I already have hard gel on, I don't need to use a base coat, because base coat is basically just for gel to stick to your natural nail. So I'm just gonna go right in with the tips. But if you're working on your straight natural nails, you're gonna wanna put a base coat if you're using gel to adhere your tips. So I'm just gonna put some gel on there, put it on as straight as possible, and into the lamp for like 15 seconds so that I can flash cure on there long enough that it's not going to move while we do the other ones. Okay, I think that that's pretty straight. I do notice that there's a little area right there where there's no gel, so I didn't use quite enough gel. I don't really want to leave that area exposed, because if moisture gets in there, it can cause my nail to lift. So I'm just gonna get a little bit more of this nail glue gel on a little liner brush, and I'm gonna fill it in from the back. And give that another flash cure. And now I'm just gonna put all the rest of them on the same way and give them a full 60-second cure once they're all on. Putting these like extra long extensions on straight is quite difficult, and if you noticed, this ring finger is so crooked. I have such a crooked ring finger, and if I put it on according to my nail, that nail would be crooked AF. So here's a trick that someone told me like a year ago in my comments, and I've never forgotten it. In order to put your nail on straight on a crooked finger, you're gonna wanna put it in the line of your middle knuckle. So I don't know if that makes sense, but like look at your middle finger and try to make it straight according to that middle knuckle. Yeah, I think that kind of worked. Definitely better than it would have been if I didn't do that. This finger is so crooked. Anyway, I just want to share that with you guys. Holy goodness. I think that these are definitely the longest extensions that I've ever worn so far. These are crazy. I remember a time when I first started and I would put on extensions like shorter than this, and I was like, who wears these? And now I'm wearing them. Anyway, I'm not gonna cut them down because I wanna live on the edge. I wanna live on the edge with some extra long nails. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime the tips now with my acid-free primer, because just like we primed the underneath, I have to prime the top so that all of the base gel and the poly gel will stick. So I'm just giving it a nice little scrub down with my acid-free primer. Like, you should feel with the brush that it goes from being slick to being quite sticky. And now I'm gonna use this base coat from Nail Couture just because I have it and because using it makes me happy since this little handle is so cute. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put a base coat over my entire natural nail and also over the whole tip. And this is gonna help our polygel adhere, but also I like to put it over the whole thing because it also helps the tip to kind of mesh into the natural nail a little bit better. Although I never really understand why that mattered too much, because in the end you're just going to be putting product over it and filing it to make everything even anyway. Just another plus to putting the base coat over everything. Before I cure it, I'm just gonna clean up the sidewalls a little bit with a little micro Q-tip and some isopropyl alcohol, and then give everything a full 60-second cure. And I'm actually gonna wipe them all off with isopropyl alcohol to get rid of the sticky layer because I don't want any dusties and crusties getting stuck to that sticky layer while I'm working on them, because I cannot simultaneously work on all 5 fingers at the same time, unfortunately. So there we go. They should be all ready for some epic polygel application. Okay, so first of all, for my brush, I'm gonna use my Melody Susie round brush. I've just been really liking this brush. So I'm hoping that it'll also make my polygel application easier because usually I struggle with it. And of course, the Dusty Rose Pink polygel, as I said before. And since polygel is super sticky, in order to move it around and build the nail, you have to use a slip solution on your brush. But really, all you need is either 91% or 70% isopropyl alcohol, or you can even use a base gel, which I found to be even a little bit easier than using 91% isopropyl alcohol, especially because when I use alcohol, everything just starts getting soupy, I feel like, because I use too much. Today, I'm going to be using this base gel as my slip solution. So let me just get out a bunch on my palette here. And these are very, very long nails, so I'm assuming that I'm going to need quite a bit of product. Hopefully this polygel is not hard to squeeze out because it is quite warm today. We actually had to turn our AC on today because it was so hot. And I'm just gonna squeeze out polygel over the entire extension. And I think one of the mistakes I usually make is not squeezing out enough polygel. I always feel like I'm using too much. I think just squeezing out a good amount over the whole nail will do. I'm just dipping my brush in some base gel. And oh, this is really sticky. I forgot how sticky polygel is. Okay, let's get some base gel on here. And let's try to start sculpting this out. A couple of you guys actually made some suggestions in my comment section of my Temu haul video. One of you guys said that it would be a good idea to like do a nails and chill video after every one of my hauls and just like use everyone's favorite supplies in my nails, which I thought was a great idea. And then someone else suggested that I should do like some really chunky kawaii junk nails where you couldn't see like even the nail below because it was just so packed with charms. And obviously I really liked both of those ideas because I wanted to use my favorite supplies. Obviously this isn't a nails and chill video because I want to do a nails and chill video soon, but for the nails and chill videos, since I am like talking the whole time or most of the time and I'm trying to have like a coherent conversation, it's really hard for me to do if my nails aren't like fully planned out. So I definitely have to draw out my set for that video so that I just like have a solid plan and I can just follow the plan and talk to you guys, because otherwise I feel like the set won't turn out that great. I feel like everyone always makes sculpting with polygel look so easy and then it's just really not. I think one of the reasons I struggle a lot with polygel is because it doesn't set like acrylic. So when I'm trying to work on one section, like this section over here is all like moving a bunch and it's just so annoying. And maybe it's just because of the type of polygel I'm using. But what I did is I went ahead and I cured what I have on right now for like 30 seconds. And I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna add a little bit more polygel to spots that I feel like need a little bit more, and that way I can work on perfecting those little areas without worrying about everything else getting messed up while I do so. Was that you? That creeped me out. I was like, what is that? Yeah, but I'm not like talking to the camera right now.
Oh, sheesh. I wanted to give you this.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, this nail looks quite crazy. I'm just gonna wipe off the sticky layer with isopropyl alcohol so it doesn't drive me crazy. This nail definitely needs a bit of filing. I feel like I got it to the point where I can file it into a good shape. I'll just have to sculpt the shape out with my e-file. It's fine. And this nail feels so heavy, which I like. My polygel sculpting abilities are definitely not the best. I'm definitely better with acrylic and even builder gel. I don't know why everybody seems to have the easiest time with polygel and I just cannot. I just suck at it. But you know what? It's okay. We move forward. I just need more practice. I think that's it. So let's do the next nail. Also, I want to say for the few of you who joined my Twitch, I feel so bad because I told you guys I was going to live stream on Thursdays, and then this past Thursday when I was really busy, and then also I just could not bring myself to remove my chalk acrylic nails because I love them so much, and just removing them so I could play Minecraft for like 2 or 3 hours was not worth it to me because I did not want to go the rest of my week not having these beautiful nails to look at. So yeah, I didn't end up streaming last week. I'm sorry. I'm still planning to stream more in the future. I just don't know if it's going to end up being a weekly thing or like every other week or something like that. It just kind of depends how things go. And also, I don't want to have to chop off my nails every time I want to play Minecraft. So if any of you guys have a link to some really good keyboard caps that will make it possible for me to play video games with my extra long nails, that would be awesome. Or I'm thinking I might just find a way to connect a controller to my PC because I feel like it would be a lot easier to just use a controller because there's no way I can use my WSD keys with the extra long stiletto nails. There's just no way. Like I can type, but playing video games, not so much. Okay, so I'm just going to speed through the last 3 really quick so that we aren't here forever. And honestly, I don't really need to make them so super perfect because the end goal is just to completely cover them in charms. So realistically, we're not even going to be able to see the shape of the nail underneath. I do want the nails to have a good structure so that they hopefully won't break because these nails are very long and the chances of me hitting them into things is inevitably very high, which kind of scares me a little bit for the health of my nails. Would like my natural nail to not be ripped off of my body. So yeah, I'm just gonna have to try to be extra careful this next week. So while I was building the rest of those nails, I kind of realized that it was a lot easier to put some of the base coat on top of the poly gel right after I squeezed it out of the tube, and also dip my brush in base coat when I worked with it. That helped me be able to push it around a lot easier. Bro, these nails are like unnecessarily long. Like what? These are definitely the longest extensions I've had on so far, and I feel like they're gonna look so good with all the charms on, so I am excited. But first, these desperately need to be filed. 100% need to be filed. So I'm really excited because now I have the opportunity to try my new long e-file bit, and just for like comparison, this is how long a regular e-file bit is. This is the long e-file bit. So yeah, I got it because I think it's gonna be a lot easier to file my extra long nails with a longer e-file bit, because sometimes I struggle to like file with the like shorter bits. So I'm gonna use this to sculpt out the shape, get them looking a less crazy, hopefully, and I'll let you know how it works after I'm done filing, because I'm not going to try to talk over my dust collector and my e-file. That would not be enjoyable to listen to. It would probably give me anxiety to listen to, probably give me anxiety to do, so I'm not going to do it to you. But yeah, let's get filing. Okie dokie, I finished filing them, and don't mind the appearance change. It's just like a couple of hours later. I ate dinner and that filing took forever. I only did one nail on camera because it was literally just an hour more of the exact same thing 5 times. So here's how they turned out, and I think that they actually look so much better now that they are filed. Oh my goodness, they definitely look better. When I'm filing poly gel nails, I feel like I'm one of those like sculptors chiseling a masterpiece out of a block of marble. Anyway, also I wanted to mention, I told you guys I was going to tell you about how this bit worked, and I think that it was good. Honestly, it wasn't that big of like a noticeable difference between using like this one and how easy it is to file using a regular bit, but that could also be because I'm used to using the regular bits on like acrylic nails and other just like gel nails that I'm a little bit better at sculpting out, so I don't have to do as much filing. I'll definitely try out these longer bits again, and eventually we will come to the conclusion if they are much more helpful or not worth it. It's time to do something about these charms. It's time to charm these babies up. Okay, so here's my plan. My plan is to pick out a bunch of big, like, kawaii character charms. A lot of big charms. I don't want to repeat the same charm twice. So I'm going to put a couple big charms on each of the nails. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in the extra space with rhinestones. So first, let's go through these charms, which I haven't organized yet. There will definitely be a separate video organizing them. But I'm going to go through all these charms and pick out the ones that I want to use. And I'm going to put them in this little tray. Okay, 100% we have to use some of these. Definitely a few of these glittery guys. Pull out some of these little stars with animal faces. I only got to use at least one of these like super cute little My Melody charms. And of course also the Kuromi one that matches. A couple of these little flower animals, definitely. One of the little Lotso bear charms. Ooh, definitely probably a couple different colors of these heart bows. Ooh, a couple of these little sweets charms would definitely be cute. We definitely cannot forget about the little capybaras. Even though they might not fit with the kawaii theme, I think that some capybaras are still in order. Maybe a couple of these little angel bears. These little dragons are so cute. Not forget to include some of those. Okay, and then I'm also gonna take out a couple colors of these different color pearl hearts. So here are all the kawaii charms that I picked out, but I'm wondering if I should take out a couple of my really big gems from the stuff that I had from before to add in between these, because I feel like they would be really, really pretty with some really big gems in there as well. So I'm actually gonna do that, and I'm gonna put all of the big gems in a different little tray. So we'll have a tray of kawaii charms and a tray of big gems. I know that I probably won't even get close to using all of these, but I want to have them all out so that I can see all of my options. Now that we've got them all picked out, let's put them on, shall we? First things first, I'm going to clean them off with isopropyl alcohol, and then I'm going to put a layer of base coat on top of all of them, just because I want to make sure that all of these rhinestones and charms and gems adhere very well. I don't want any gems popping off. I think that this is the most perfect base layer for all of these charms in this junk nail set, because I feel like it's a pretty good shape, but since it's just like a nude pink, I would definitely never just wear an extra long nude pink like this. So I'm not going to feel bad covering it completely with charms. If I had like worked super hard to create an ombre or French tip or something like that on all of them, then I would have felt really bad once I covered it up and you couldn't even see it underneath the charms, because that's the goal. Man, this base coat definitely has a scent to it I am not particularly enjoying. Kind of smells like crayons mixed with bleach or something. I'm wiping the sticky layer off of that base coat with a lot of isopropyl alcohol because it's super sticky and I know likey the feeling of sticky. So I'm gonna put these charms and rhinestones on now, these big rhinestones. For the charms, I'm going to use this MUCH rhinestone glue gel, and for the really big gems, I'm going to use my clear solid gel. I think what I'm gonna do is before I put them on my actual nail, I'm gonna pick out the charms. I'm gonna lay them out on my desk together to see like how they look together before I decide to actually put them on my nails, because I don't want to put them on my nails and then dislike how the specific charms I chose look together. And then once I think I'm satisfied with the group of charms, I'm going to then put them on my nails using the rhinestone glue gel and the solid nail glue gel. And I'm going to flash cure them using my new flash curing light from Temu as well. Okay, so that took a really long time, just trying to like decide which charms. Sometimes I underestimate how hard it is to do things that are like random, because you can do random bad, you know what I'm saying? I feel like junk nails, there's definitely a way to make them look good, and there's probably a way to make them look bad, although I've never seen it, but I bet I could do it. I could make it look bad for sure. So I'm trying to make it look good. Anyhow, I didn't actually end up sticking to the charms that I picked out and put on my desk because they just ended up not fitting well on the nail together. So I'm just gonna continue going with the flow and choosing charms as I go, and I'm gonna keep putting these big charms and rhinestones on. sometimes if these big rhinestones don't want to stick into the solid nail glue gel, I just take a little bit of acid-free primer and put it in the center right here. And then it should stick super easily. Yep. Works every time. Also, this flash curing lamp is working really well, and it has a 20-second timer on it, which is absolutely perfect for flash curing the charms on long enough for them not to be moving around or knocked off or anything. I definitely recommend it. Oh my goodness, I'm already on the last nail and I cannot believe I almost didn't include any of these adorable little Hello Kitty charms. I totally overlooked them because they were like at the very bottom of my bag, which is why I really need to organize them. But I'm so glad I remembered them before I was finished, because that is too cute. Because these are so cute and there's no way I'm not going to use at least one of them. Okay, we are almost done, but not yet, because I want to fill in all of the little gaps between the charms and basically anywhere where you can still see any of the poly gel at all. I want to fill in all of those gaps with these rhinestones. I don't know if you can see them with the glare, but they're these really pretty, just like resin rainbow rhinestones with a really pretty AB reflection on them. And I think I'm just gonna stick to like the pink, purple, and blue shades. And I'm gonna put those on using my LGM Pro Bling It gel. This is the gel that I like to use for the rhinestones when I'm putting a lot of rhinestones, because it's also no wipe. So if you're like covering a nail in rhinestones, technically you wouldn't have to put a no wipe top coat on afterwards. But yeah, anyway, let's get to it. Also, I apologize for the face cam missing. That camera low-key died, but it's okay. You don't need to see my face anyway, because nails, and these are freaking turning out so adorable. I love them. I love them so much. Okay, so this is taking way longer than I expected it to. Just rhinestoning this nail took like 50 minutes. Look how sparkly that is. I have to do all of them. There's no way I can't do all of them like that. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm just gonna quickly off camera finish rhinestoning up these ones so that we're not just sitting here for half an hour watching me slowly put rhinestones on my nails in deep concentration without any commentary. So I will be back in a magical second. I did it. I finished. And wow, that took a really long time, and it's like 3 a.m. now. So yeah, really want to say that they're done here, but honestly I feel like wrong saying that they're done without top coating the underside, and I feel like I should put a quick top coat on some of these charms that could possibly have their faces rubbed off, because I don't want the faces to rub off or get ruined on some of these charms because they're so freaking cute. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just wipe off the charms that I want to top coat with some isopropyl alcohol to make sure they're all nice and clean. And I think I'm just gonna top coat mostly like if there's any pearls or like anything with like a face basically that could rub off, which is most of the charms, to be honest. You know that feeling when you're just like wearing no nails, like you just have your natural nubbies for such a long time, and then for the first time in like a really long time you decide to wear like extensions or press-ons or something, and then you have that feeling of something heavy being on your nails? Like, I haven't felt that feeling in a very long time, and these nails are giving me that feeling. And before I can put the top coat underneath, I'm just going to quickly prime them with my primer. You know the drill. And now I just have to put the top coat on, and I will be finally done. Once again, a set that I started at 5 p.m. ended up taking until 3:30 a.m. But it's fine because this set is shaping up to be magnificent, I think, at least. Also, I just heard a couple big booms outside in the distance. It's kind of freaking me out. Sounded like fireworks. Why are people firing fireworks at 3:30 a.m.? Oh my goodness, cuties. They are finally done, and they are absolutely magnificent. I have no idea how I'm going to live with these for the next week or so, but I'm definitely going to enjoy staring them and getting a serotonin boost every time I do. It is freaking amazing to just have so many of the charms I love on my nails, and they're just like so sparkly. I was definitely regretting for a second there filling in all the empty space with rhinestones, because that by itself took like 2 hours to do, but it's okay. I just like rewatched all of Rick and Morty while I was doing it, and now I have these glorious, gorgeous little babies. I like them. I like them a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did enjoy this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. It helps me out a lot, and I really do appreciate it, you guys. I love you all so very much. I hope that you're having the most amazing day, night, week, life, cutie. Sleep well if you are going to sleep, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye. Mwah.